Straight up on the Nightcast, Navy wives at Pearl Harbor are living in fear these days after several reported rapes in their neighborhood. Some are even arming themselves. U.S. Marines are also arming themselves in Somalia, making final preparations for their mercy mission into that famine-stricken country.
In sports, a royal party touches down in Honolulu today. BYUH, the rulers of NAIA volleyball, are back. I'm Scott Culbertson.
And I'm Terry Okita. Your KGMB News Nightcast is next.
This season, when you buy a KFC holiday meal, I'll give you a coupon book worth up to $75 on select Mattel toys.
Enjoy the KFC Hawaii holiday meal. 8 pieces of delicious chicken with all the trimmings, just $10.99. Or get 12 pieces of chicken. Or a 30-piece bucket of hot wings for the same great price. The holiday meal deals worth over $75 in savings at Toys R Us or your local Mattel retailer. From Lake Edna to Hawaii.
Happy holidays! Guess who's coming? He got big eyes. He got funny ears. His hair is all like this. He's always grouchy because he never takes a nap. He's fuzzy. Cookie, cookie, cookie.
Me want cookie too.
Hawaii Center.
One of the good things about Hawaii is wonderful. KGMB.
Live from Honolulu, Hawaii, KGMB News Nightcast with Terry Okita and Scott Culbertson.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here with us for this Sunday Nightcast. Violent attacks on women in the Pearl Harbor area are forcing some military wives to arm themselves. The women are scared after recent reports of rape at Naval Family Housing, and they complain security isn't tight enough. Tiffany Spencer has the story.
Pearl Harbor's Navy housing remains largely isolated from the Honolulu community. It has its share of problems, and most are handled by Navy security officers. But one crime has caught the public's attention: rape, and both were the result of break-ins within the Navy's housing community.
There's been 2 incidents of sexual assault in the Navy family housing areas at Pearl Harbor in the past 10 or 11 days.
Lieutenant Singway says the first incident occurred on November 23rd at the Moanalua Terrace housing, when a female resident was assaulted in her home. The second happened 1 week later during the day when a male assaulted a woman and burglarized her home at Halsey Terrace. While Navy officials say there have been 2 rapes here at the Pearl Harbor base in the last 3 weeks, the Neighborhood Housing Association passed out a flyer to residents saying there have been 3 rapes. It urged residents to take extra precautions, but many are still worried.
I'm scared because, you know, most of the wives are alone a lot, and you can't even let your kids play out. You have to worry about if you're going to come home and find somebody in your house.
I'm scared. I think I sleep with a 9mm beside my bed loaded that my husband has because I'm scared. I can't sleep when he goes to work in the morning. I can't sleep when he's at work at night.
The Navy security is investigating 2 rape cases and has asked residents to maintain prudent security measures in their homes. But some say they still feel unsafe.
My husband's home, so it makes it easier for me. I don't worry about that. He's always home. But when he's not home is when I would be worried. Because like the houses are not safe, you can get into them very easily.
Several weeks ago, we got a newsletter that said there's going to be less police patrolling our housing area because there wasn't enough funding. And now suddenly this is happening. Suddenly we're having all these rapes and things like this. It adds up to be a little bit strange.
The neighborhood housing community says it will hold an emergency meeting at the Moanalua Community Center this week. Until then, these military wives say they will have to watch out for each other. Tiffany Spencer, KGMB News.
Honolulu police are trying to reduce crime and get rid of unwanted guns off the street and out of the homes with a new gun buyback program. But tonight, the Hawaii Rifle Association is calling the program politically motivated. The association's president, Maxwell Cooper, says he thinks it's a prelude to some more gun bans in this state. The buyback program was launched last month and 200 people have cashed in guns. Honolulu police were paying anywhere from $25 to $100 24 of the guns during the past 2 weeks. Most are being incinerated. Police Chief Michael Nakamura feels that most of the guns kept in the homes for self-protection can do more harm than good. Cooper thinks gun owners just need to be more educated. He also has an alternative to the buyback program.
So if you have a firearm that you don't want, we'll put you in touch with a federally licensed firearms dealer who will give you an appraisal of the market value of your firearm and tell you how to legally dispose of it if you want to.
Cooper says destroying the guns can potentially destroy evidence. Police are still not identifying that 23-year-old Honolulu man who fell to his death when he and a friend rappelled down a Honolulu high-rise. Authorities say one of the men used to work at the waterfront towers and still had keys to the complex. They report the two men were playing around and drinking and were rappelling down the building when strong winds tangled their ropes. The one man fell 22 stories to his death. The other male continued down the high-rise until crews and police rescued him on the 5th floor. A third man was waiting down below for his friends. Police arrested him for trespassing. And police officers are still investigating the death of a 22-year-old Pearl Harbor man after an overnight accident on Nimitz Highway. The man and his passenger were heading westbound when their car collided into a median and then a concrete pillar. The Navy man died, but his 24-year-old male passenger escaped injury. Police officers say speed was a factor. They also found alcohol in the car, but haven't determined if that caused the crash. And investigators are planning an autopsy to determine exactly how and when that woman found buried at Mokuleia Army Beach died. Authorities say the unidentified woman was slain sometime Friday night, but they don't know where she was killed. A boy discovered her feet sticking out of the sand yesterday morning and ran to authorities. There was no identification on the woman. They describe her in her early 30s, 5 feet 3 inches tall and weighing 213 pounds. She was only wearing a black button-down shirt, and the investigation continues. U.S. Marines are making final preparations tonight to go ashore in Somalia and begin protecting relief supplies in the famine-stricken country. The United Nations mandated Mercy mission will involve 1,800 Marines. A total of 28,000 troops from the U.S. will eventually participate in the operation. And as CBS correspondent Bob Simon reports, the job could be dangerous.
Planes keep coming into Baidoa, but the situation on the ground is deteriorating day by day. The Marines will land in Mogadishu. Everyone knows that, so armed clans are skipping town and raising havoc in the countryside, particularly here.
We've had a lot of problems with our convoys. We had on Thursday, our convoy was attacked and we lost 6 men. They were killed and probably about 6 wounded. And our compound was raided on Friday, and they came into our rooms with guns and they took a lot of money from us.
Baidoa is the epicenter of starvation in Somalia. 20,000 people, 25% of the population, has died here since July. There are fewer deaths now, mainly because the young, the old, the sick, the most vulnerable have already perished. The starvation scene is improving in Baidoa. The security situation is not. Relief workers are coming under increasing attack from armed gangs. They are evacuating their workers right now. The Marines may be coming in this week, but these U.S. Air Force pilots have been providing help to Baidoa since August. They keep their engines running on the Soviet-built runway as Somalian workers, the best-fed men in the country, unload their Hercules in 10 minutes flat. It's on the roads between this runway and the starving villages that the trouble happens. The hungry people and those who've been trying to feed them are relieved that the Marines are coming in. The pilots are not convinced it will be a cakewalk.
There might be some trouble initially until the entire force gets here and they have that intimidating number of troops. Then I think the Somalians will relax a little bit and understand if they're overwhelmed, if there's any kind of a conflict they're going to lose.
Everybody's getting ready for the UN to come around, and when that happens, I don't believe there's going to be any non-government organizations on the ground in Somalia. They'll pretty much pull out all their people because they will be pretty much hostage targets.
The aid workers still here realize that their situation will become even more precarious after the American landing. But they want it, they say, because the Marines can bring what they don't have now, the slightest glimmer of hope. Bob Simon, CBS News, Baidoa.
U.S. Marines here in Hawaii were also working for a good cause today. They joined up with bikers to help make a better Christmas for Hawaii's needy children. We'll have that story next. Also, a new alternative to oil. It's being tested out at Barbers Point, and we'll show you what may be able to help Hawaii as a new energy source.
For gifts that offer the latest in comfort and style, come to the shoe departments at Liberty House. Choose from our terrific collection of slippers and sandals, including colorful flow hose for LH Kids, rugged sports sandals for men by Teva, Scott, and Timberland, comfortable orthopedic designs by Birkenstock, and beautifully detailed styles for women from Onyx, Callisto, and others. The finest gift selection of slippers and sandals in the shoe departments at Liberty House, a Christmas tradition in Hawaii.
This is a public notice announcing a huge Honda inventory reduction this Friday through Monday, exclusively at Honda Windward. Over 200 new Hondas must be sold. Prices too low to be publicly advertised, but will be prominently displayed. $4 million of financing has been made available for this event. Bring your trade, paid for or not, and your title or payment book. No negotiating will be necessary. Prices marked are the lowest ever. No dealers will be allowed. The giant Honda inventory reduction this Friday through Sunday, exclusively at Honda Windward, Kaneohe.
Play Fun in the Sun at Foodland, and you could join the ranks of the almost rich and nearly famous. Match the winning game pieces, and you could win a trip for 4 to Universal Studios Hollywood. Soar to the stars with E.T., face the fury of King Kong, and feel the heat of Backdraft live. Or live the high life with $25,000 in cash. But you'd better hurry before the dream slips away. Play Fun in the Sun at Foodland today.
Ooh, guess who's coming? He got big stomach. He's all yellow. He's got millions of fluffy feathers. His beak is this long. He's got stripes on his legs. He's giant. He's all the way up, and he can't fly because he's too fat.
Hawaii Center.
Some new technology is making old sources of energy environmentally friendly, and Hawaii needs it. We're the most oil-dependent state in the country. A new power plant out at Barbers Point keeps coal burning clean. Mike Gormley reports.
It's not like any coal plant you may have seen in the Rust Belt. For one thing, there's no smoke coming out of this smokestack. Clean coal has come to Hawaii.
It's probably the cleanest coal-fired generating station in the world to date because we're utilizing the latest CFD technology.
To reduce pollution emissions, AES uses a special low-sulfur coal from Indonesia. The coal is mixed with limestone when burned. This reduces sulfur dioxide emissions. Ammonia is added late in the process to eliminate nitrogen oxides.
Thank you. The chairman of AES has made a real leadership effort here to balance the need for energy with the need to protect the resources upon which we depend, the air, the water, and the other species with whom we share the planet.
Fox says one of the best things about the new plant is this rainforest in Paraguay. AES gave the Nature Conservancy money for 140,000 acres of land here to offset carbon dioxide emissions at the plant. CO2 is not regulated by the Clean Air Act, but supposedly contributes to global warming. If buying jungle land in Paraguay and reducing emissions wasn't enough, plant managers here also recycle the ash byproduct at this plant. This is an ash aggregate. It can be used in landfills and for road construction. AES hopes to market the product to local companies. At Barbers Point, Mike Gormley, KGMB News.
Many environmentalists are still wary of this new method. The Sierra Defense Club is waiting to see what happens with the new plant. The group will keep alert to whether the plant actually meets federal pollution requirements. Well, some Easy Riders are driving forces behind this year's Toys for Tots Christmas campaign, and they've collected more than 1,000 toys for Hawaii's needy children. The Street Bikers United and the U.S. Marines co-sponsored this 19th annual Toys for Tots collection and parade. These bikers welcome any donations from the public. They've already filled up a warehouse full of stuffed animals, Tonka trucks, games, and other toys. This year, many of the gifts will be sent to Kauai's children.
Give to other organizations, they're always asking for money, and it's a never-ending thing. But this, you give a toy, and the toy goes to the kids. So we know the kids are going to get the toys, and we know that always makes them happy.
Next Saturday, the military will help Street Bikers United deliver many of these toys to Kauai. And they'll certainly need it because this will be a Christmas unlike any other, I'm sure, for those kids.
Right.
Scott Culbertson joins us now, and the BYU Sea Riders, the Lady Sea Riders, are probably still reeling from their victory.
Oh yeah, they're probably not going to sleep too easily tonight. They've done a pretty incredible thing, and we'll tell you about it as we greet them when they come back. Up next in sports, we'll see the senior walk from Aloha Stadium last night. Dennis Alexio is back in the news, and both the Hawaii basketball teams hit the hardwood in their respective tournaments.
This portion of the KGMB News is sponsored by Saturn, a different kind of company, a different kind of car.
Going to go back to our second childhood, because he's a little hot rod in this car, because it does get up and go. I know, because I can get up and go in it, but he's worse than I am. He's like a little kid in that car. He doesn't let any grass grow under his feet, do you?
No.
Are you going through a second childhood?
No, I'm just...
You haven't finished your first?
I'm just going to be a sexy senior citizen, that's all.
Okay.
You're the spirit of Christmas, my star on the tree. Your daddy's little girl.
At this special time of year, how we love to remember those we love.
Your sugar and spice.
And there's a place that brings to life these holiday feelings. Kahala Mall.
You're the spirit of Christmas.
Gift wrapping and gift certificates available.
There is an alternative to electricity that could meet Hawaii's peak energy needs for years. A safe, environmentally friendly way to dry clothes, heat water, cook food, cool the air, even power some industries, without importing any more oil than we already use for transportation fuels. It isn't years away, it's here now. It's gas, the affordable, reliable energy alternative. From your Kama'aina energy provider, the gas company.
They say one picture is worth 1,000 words.
Particularly when it boasts flawless technique. This Christmas, give her the gift of love. Diamonds, the art of romance.
Hi, I'm Yoshi Ishihara at Hallmark Jewelers, where you'll find a beautiful new Art of Romance diamond collection. This holiday season, let us help you perfect the art of romance. Come see us at Hallmark Jewelers today.
For the BYU Hawaii Lady Seasiders, a repeat was very sweet. For the second year in a row, Wilfred Navalta's team brought home the NAIA National Volleyball Championship. Seasiders hit the Reef runway today, still buzzing from last night's title-clinching match. The EA Gals disposed of Cal Baptist in straight sets. In fact, they didn't lose a set the entire tournament. They were led by junior middle blocker Leigh Finau.
I wanted to knock down the net. I just wanted to pop all the balls that was running around all over the place. It was just so exciting, so much emotion. This is like one of my greatest moments in life, like winning back-to-back championships, and especially we beat UH this year.
This year, because of the strength of our schedule, you know, there's no question in my mind. This is the best team ever for BYU Hawaii.
Pretty powerful words. This year's title is the 4th for BYUH and the 10th time a Hawaii team has claimed the NAIA crown. Well, surf was up today on the North Shore, so the Marui Pipeline Masters was on, and so was Barton Lynch. Great ride there, but didn't quite have enough. He finished 4th. Liam McNamara wound up with a tight grip on 3rd. And the pipe, extremely rough today, especially on Sonny Garcia. He was in the running in the finals until a bad wipeout wiped out his chances, but that was a nice cover-up there. This day belonged to Kelly Slater, the points leader on the tour, cut up the pipe today, grabs the rail, goes left, and takes home the winner's check, 14 grand. The Rainbows had hoped to be playing in the 8 o'clock game of their tip-off tourney tonight, but they lost Friday, so it's the consolation game for them. And after opening the season with 2 losses, Coach Riley Wallace would have to make some adjustments, like get the Bows to handle the Tulsa pressure. McGee to Waltz to Ribeiro. Yeah, I'd say they handled it there. Second half now, and the Hawaii spreads the wealth out. Terrence Phil with a turnaround jumper. T-Bone sinks it and gets the foul. Now breaking the press again, it's Kalia McGee. He finds Chris Waltz in the corner, and Waltz finds nothing but the bottom of the net. Final minutes, the Bows didn't win it with free throws. They win it playing rainbow basketball. Waltz with the board, and Ribeiro with the bucket.
As a unit, they did things that I like. A couple of minutes to go, they didn't play tentative, you know.
Golden Hurricane never led in this game. In fact, they only tied it twice as Hawaii wins its first game of the year. Well, Vince Goose Gals were playing for third place against Stephen F. Austin in the Wahine Classic. Third, not a bad place to be, considering the top teams. That was Deneen Parker scoring and Jennifer Hurd answering back. Now Wahine hang tough. Kawi Wakita nails the bucket to pull UH to within 2, but it is not enough. A couple of late free throws put the game out of reach. Wakita makes all tourney, and the Wahine lose by 4, finish in 4th. Stanford falls to Tennessee in overtime. This is the premier match in Lady College hoops. Number 1 Stanford, number 2 Tennessee. The Lady Vols let Lisa Harrison work her magic in the baseline for 2. Tennessee coach Pat Summin has some three-point shooters. That's sophomore Tiffany Woolsey spotting up and dropping it. This is week 14 in the NFL, a week that has been tough for players. Thinking about an injured Warrior, Dennis Byrd, and the hearts and minds of the Jets were with their fallen teammate as New York was out to get the Bills in a game they dedicated to Byrd. They are pumped, tied 17-all with time running out. Jim Kelly picked off by Brian Washington. He will return it 23 yards for the go-ahead score. And the Bills stun Buffalo, or the Bills get stunned. The Jets do the stunning. Browns 37-21 winners over Cincy. The Pack stays hot and Indy keeps winning. Well, in Philly, Dennis Green's Vikings trying to clinch the NFC Central, and Al Noga will clinch Randall Cunningham right there for the sack, and the Samoan sack man does his thing. But watch a great play right there by Seth Joyner with the pick, and he will take it all the way for the score, and the Eagles bump Minnesota 28-17. Also, Pitt beats Seattle. The Cowboys in a high-scoring game over Denver. The Raiders top KC. Just a huge milestone in the Bay Area. Look into Jerry Rice's eyes, and he'll be looking back to Steve Young in just a minute. In the fourth quarter of the Niners game with Miami, those eyes spot the pass from Young, and for the 101st time, those hands would make a touchdown grab. That breaks Steve Largent's record as the all-time career leader. And there was a final there. San Francisco whipping Miami 27-3. Also, the Chargers dump Phoenix. The Skins skin the Giants. Rams pull off the big comeback to win their game. And in Monday night, tomorrow night, you'll see Chicago going to the House of Pain. Well, Mo, Larry, and Curly certainly had nothing on these guys. The world's #1 player, Jim Courier, led the U.S. over Jakob Lasik and Switzerland. The USA had to win just one of 2 matches today to take the Davis Cup, so it's around the track for Mac and Old Glory. And after splitting the first 2 sets, Courier claimed the next 2, and the United States claims the cup. Yesterday, we showed you some of the scenes from the Aloha Airlines Junior Tennis Tournament. Today, it's time to tell you who the winners were. We'll lead it off here with Natalie Lum from Kauai. She won the girls' Grand Prix 18. She's a tough one. Look for her in the state this year. 236 of Hawaii's top junior players entered it. They had to go through 24 courts over 6 sites to get their winners. 13 of them came from Oahu, 4 from Kauai, 2 from Maui, 1 from the Big Island. It was a great tournament. Last night in Melbourne, Australia, 10,000 people witnessed what we in Hawaii have never seen. That's Dennis Alexio losing a kickboxing match. #1 challenger Stan Longinidis takes all the belts in this one. He won a first-round TKO, but it is not because he beat Alexio. It is because just after the opening bell, Alexio broke a bone in his leg as he kicked Longinidis. There is a rematch clause in the contract. We should see it in about 4 months. Well, the Rainbows won a football game last night, their 10th of the season, but this wasn't just any game. For 16 seniors, it was their last game as a Rainbow Warrior at Aloha Stadium. Neil Everett was there.
The team from the Iron City ran into an iron fist of a University of Hawaii football team. The Big East Pitt Panthers took a big pounding, 36-23, from a Rainbow Warrior team playing its final home game in its greatest season ever. For Hawaii, a night to talk that talk. And for Hawaii's seniors, a night to walk that walk.
You know, 10-2 had never been done.
it just shows what a team can do. You know, we came over a lot of bad things last year, and you know, this year has just been a great year with the guys. It's been, like I've always said, just a family. You know, everybody's in there together, it's hugging each other. You know, no handshakes, everybody's just hugging, and that's the way it should be.
It took me 2 years to get back on the field, but it was worth it. I love all y'all because y'all special to me. I appreciate it.
Shows you when you got team unity, it's hard to stop us. And today it just showed we scratched and fight to win this game, and we deserve it. And unbelievable.
The Rainbows' first points came from a senior.
You know, we're a team. We got a lot of heart, so we're not just gonna lay down for anybody. So we had to go in the locker room, check ourselves, make sure we was ready, in the right frame of mind. And we came out. Hey, we took over after that.
And Hawaii's last points came ceremoniously from its greatest point man.
You know, all of us, you know, we're really close. I think that's what's making us such a good team this year. And you know, we're all really good friends. We've developed that over the 5 years, and especially the seniors, we're really close. And you know, I'm really appreciative of it. And you know, I was just trying to hold back the tears there at the end.
There's no holding back tears on this, their final tour of duty. They more than made their family and fans proud, and their coach proud too.
You know, I guess if I think more about it, I realize we're losing some really good players. I don't care to think about that. You know, the game, it was such an emotional game. I'm just coming down from that right now.
I'm Neil Everett, KGMB Sports.
And at the award banquet tonight, Travis Sims named the most valuable player for the Rainbows this year.
All right, congratulations to Travis and all the Bows. Yeah. News 101 this week is from Nanakuli High School. We'll have their report when we come back, plus the weather forecast. Stick around.
Guess who's coming? He got big eyes. He got funny ears. His hair is all like this. Hi, Boo. He's always grouchy because he never takes a nap. He's blue and he's fuzzy. Cookie. 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 Ah.
Me want cookie too.
Hawaii Center. Health Plan Hawaii, designed for today's lifestyle. A health plan created by HMSA to care for you and your family when you're sick and when you're healthy.
With Health Plan Hawaii, I feel like I finally have a real health plan.
They have preventive services like physical exams, routine care for young children, and more. All at first-rate health centers all over the state, and all at no extra charge.
So if you really care about your health, look into Health Plan Hawaii.
For people who want to be healthy and stay healthy.
Go, go, go to Kilgo's. You're gonna find it at Kilgo's.
Variety is the spice of life at Kilgo's. Marine life, that is, because we carry the widest selection of marine supplies in the state. From swivels and pulleys to flares and life preservers, Kilgo's has everything you need to get in ship shape. We also offer custom services like pipe threading, rope splicing, and lumber cutting. Quality, variety, service.
Hawaii knows you're gonna find it at Kilgo's.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Shelly Nissan Altima Challenge. In this corner at 150 horsepower, the new Altima. Challenging the 125 horsepower Honda Accord. You judge, test drive the Altima at Shelly Nissan, and if you end up buying the Honda, you get $100. No contest, folks. Altima's tough to beat. More standard features and costs less. Take the Altima Challenge now at Shelly Nissan.
Everyone's talking about the wind today. Some winds reach gusts of 40 miles an hour, but they are beginning to die down tonight. Honolulu had a high of 83 degrees. The National Weather Service says there's a high surf advisory in effect for north and west-facing shores. They also say we'll have some passing showers overnight. Lows will be in the lower 70s. To start off the work week, tomorrow will be mostly sunny with some windward and Malka showers, high temperatures in the mid-80s, and winds will be trades blowing 15 to 30 miles an hour. One of the most difficult tasks facing teachers these days is motivating students to learn, getting them interested in their schoolwork. Our News 101 team from Nanakuli High introduces us to one very special middle school teacher.
You gotta
facts from...
Nanakuli High and Intermediate is truly blessed for having Lisa Halani Barad as a middle school English teacher. Winner of the Sally Mae First Year Teacher Award, she is acclaimed as an outstanding educator, beloved by everyone.
Did you decide to become a teacher?
Because when I was a student myself, it was boring. It really was.